Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. Week 4 just about done. We got 2 Monday night games tonight, the double header, so we'll be watching that, obviously, but we're also paying attention to Week 5. More injuries to dissect. We got quarterbacks who could be missing. We've also got teams on bye weeks as well, so not participating in Week 5 will be the Atlanta Falcons, the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So all teams coming off some pretty good Week 4s. Now they can celebrate that with a week off. There goes the momentum, everybody. But the guy who brings the momentum back, fresh from San Diego, not much of a tan, though. It's Andrew Erickson, the Undertaker. Why no tan, Andrew? That's my big question.
It takes more than a couple days out in the sun to get this to tan status.
Not this. Right here, this olive green Italian, 30 seconds outside, 75 degrees. Boom. There you go. Next thing you know, I'm right off back in Ellis Island, me and all my grandparents. All right, let's talk about the games ahead here. That's what we're going to talk about here today. We're going to talk about the early lines, the value that we see. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel here on Betting Pros. And don't forget to also sync all your sports books for free on the Betting Pros app. Let's start here with Thursday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers, that's right, who cost me all my survivor pools. You lose to the Jaguars at home. I'm just salty about it. Still salty about it. We'll be salty about it the rest of the season. They're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Rams in LA. The Rams are 3-point favorites on Betting Pros. The consensus line -3 for them, plus 3.5 on the San Francisco 49ers. The over-under, you're looking at over 46.5, under 47.5. And then you're getting plus 160 for the 49ers against the Rams. Now, look, this is a spot where typically I would like to bet the 49ers straight up on the money line plus 160. I think the Rams are still a better football team, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, the 49ers always seem to take care of the Rams. So I think there's value there. It's a short week. 49ers have got to be a little pissed off about all this. Purdy didn't play all that great. And I'll tell you what, the Rams also were a little lackluster at times in that game, but they came out with a victory. Your thoughts? Any early value on Thursday Night Football?
I like the Rams here. If you get the -3, which I'm seeing is the best line here on Betting Pros, I think that the Rams defensive line is going to overwhelm the 49ers offensive line. 49ers are just, besides Christian McCaffrey being healthy, everyone else seems like they're hurt again. George Kittle's still out. Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall, the 2 top receivers for the 49ers, are both banged up on a short week. These guys have been practicing in limited capacities the last couple of weeks. Are they going to be full go for Thursday on a short week? I get you're playing on the road. We know that the Los Angeles teams don't really have a home field advantage. Still, though, it's not in San Francisco. So I favor, when Matthew Stafford is healthy, I think you should keep betting on the Rams because I think that they can be one of the best teams in the NFL as long as Stafford is upright.
All right, so Andrew and I are on opposite sides on that one. There we go. Now we got a show going. All right, let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, who have to stay because they were so bad against the Steelers. They said, "Don't you come back till you learn your lesson." Now they're moving from Ireland to London. They're going to stay international for 2 weeks. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out here. Carson Wentz does what Carson Wentz does, which is throw picks. So, again, the best bet is always Carson Wentz to throw an interception, and he will against the Cleveland Browns. I'm confident in this. So the question is, what else are we confident in? The Cleveland Browns 1-3, the Minnesota Vikings 2-2. You're getting -3.5 here for the Vikings, plus 4.5 for the Cleveland Browns. You're getting 37.5 for the under, 36.5 for the over, and then plus 180 for the Browns upset. So, Andrew, walk me through your thoughts on this game here. Minnesota Vikings, obviously, Carson Wentz can give, and then he taketh away very quickly as well. But the Cleveland Browns don't exactly have a lighted up offense, and the Browns on the road have not been the Browns at home this year for sure.
Yeah, I think that the defense for the Browns doesn't play nearly as well when they're not in Cleveland. You're talking about turnovers. Joe Flacco. Now that guy is, you think Carson Wentz turns the ball over a lot. Joe Flacco is a turnover machine. And if he keeps turning the ball over, we're going to see Dylan Gabriel in at quarterback, I think, starting games sooner rather than later. The Browns are embracing a lot of their rookies, especially in the skill positions. Judkins, Fannin, Isaiah Bond, all these guys are getting involved. So just a matter of time, I think, before they pull the trigger on, okay, let's get a rookie quarterback under center because Joe Flacco keeps turning the ball over like a madman. So I wanted to bet the under in this game, but I see no value on it because it's already down at like 36.5 points. So that's probably shy away. I'm just going to take the Vikings. Again, they're staying over in overseas for another week. So their body clocks are all adjusted versus the Browns who will be coming over. I just think that you want to take the Vikings here. I believe in the coach a little bit more. I know the Wentz isn't coming off his best game. He's better than Joe Flacco. So I will take the Vikings in their defense against Joe Flacco and the Browns.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if I want to give a huge hearty endorsement to that statement. It's a statement. It's not untrue. I just don't know how much I want to go into it.
Interceptions parlay. Flacco and Wentz both over one.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's talk about this next one where you're not going to find a lot of lines. So I want to kind of just gloss over it because Lamar Jackson had a hamstring issue. He came out in a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we don't know yet what that status is. I was recording this on Monday, so you're not going to find a lot of lines here. Early lines that you do find on BettingPros seem to like the Baltimore Ravens by a lot against the Houston Texans. Both these teams are 1-3. I mean, Woody Marks revelation. Now, finally, everyone's waking up and realize that Nick Chubb just doesn't have the juice anymore. I think that was a little bit of what the Houston Texans offense needed. There is a spot right now on BettingPros where you can get plus 365 on the money line for the Houston Texans. I would take that because the defense of the Ravens stinks. And I think there's a good chance you see Cooper Rush this week. I'm just saying it's a 50-50 at least, probably at this standpoint. That's my take. I know the season's on the brink here for the Baltimore Ravens, but I'll take the Texans with more than 3-1 right now. Lock it in if I can get it. Erickson, what do you think?
I think that Lamar Jackson's probably I think he's going to play. I think that they said during the broadcast that if the game had been close, he would have gone back in, but because he was dealing with the hamstring injury and the game was already out of reach, so they just kept him onto the sideline. So I'm assuming we'll see him limited at practices. Lamar Jackson, we'll see if he ends up playing or not, but I don't know. I don't really have a lot. I mean, there's so many question marks with this game where I don't really necessarily think I have a very confident take this early on. So let's go to the next one.
All right, just a quick reminder, too, our show is brought to you by Hard Rock Bet. It's Monday, and Week 4 concludes with an exciting doubleheader, the Jets and Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. So you can check out the streaks over at Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. You can find live odds and bet this one right here in the Hard Rock Bet app. Devon Achane, he has number 10, by the way, status in Fantasy Pros consensus running back rankings this week. And if you want to bet him to score a touchdown, Achane has done so in 6 straight home games. There you go, right from Hard Rock Bet app. And if you haven't tried already, what are you waiting for? Download the app and bet your $5. If it wins, you get $150 in bonus bets plus your winnings. So sign up today and you can get Monday night parlay boost for all the games. Boost your parlays so you get more winnings. That sounds pretty good to me. And there's new promos every single day on the app. Just open it up, check it out. And every week, Hard Rock Bet's getting it done. So download the Hard Rock Bet app today and make your first deposit. Start to get your winnings right now. Bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets when you win that first bet. Let's get to the next games now that we've got kind of some of the international stuff and the Thursday night and the Lamar Jackson stuff out of the way. Las Vegas Raiders, Indianapolis Colts. You can also bet Geno Smith to throw a pick. He is leading the league in picks this year, so that has not gone well. -6.5, the Colts are at home. +6.5 is the number, the best one you're going to find on the consensus betting pros line. 48 flat for the over, 48.5 on the under, +265 on the money line for the Las Vegas Raiders. Look, I mean, 6.5 is a lot for the Colts, but at the same time, the way Geno Smith keeps turning the football over, I don't think it's wrong. I don't know if I see any value here. Maybe, if anything, I'm looking for the over on the 48. I think we can get there potentially. But Andrew, what do you think?
I like the Colts here. You want to bet on the Colts when they're favored in games, especially when they're playing at home. This is a prime bounce back spot for Shane Steichen. And I say bounce back, if the Colts had played bad against the Rams, but a couple Adonai Mitchell plays go in a different direction, and you can see the Colts winning that game. Are we really going to do this with all these players, especially on the Colts? You think Jonathan Taylor, who did this last year, would tell all of the young players, guys, just score the touchdowns. Go to your home. Go to the end zone. The ball wants to go to the end zone, not through the back of the end zone. It just drives me bananas that these players continue to do the stupid celebration where they drop the ball before they score in the end zone. Oh, we're so cool. No, it's not. It's not cool to not score touchdowns. So, but that being said, I thought the Colts did not look overmatched against the Rams, even though they lost. And I think that they will overpower the Las Vegas Raiders. So I will take the Colts.
All right, they got the Miami Dolphins. We'll see what they do tonight. They are winless as of this discussion. Carolina Panthers are 1-3. They got their butt kicked by the New England Patriots. So right now you're getting the Carolina Panthers +1. You're getting -1 for the Miami Dolphins on the road. 44.5 the over, 46.5 the under. -115 on the Miami Dolphin money line, +110 on the Carolina Panther money line. Look, I want to see how the Dolphins come out of this game first, but my early instinct is to just take the Miami Dolphins on the money line to get their first victory, because I don't think they're going to win tonight. That's right. Everybody knows the Jets are my upset special from last week, so I have to wait a whole extra day to see if I'm right or wrong. But Andrew, what's your instincts say to you about the Dolphins and Panthers?
This is a close your eyes special, Joe. We're 2-0 in the close your eyes special from
true.
week 4. The Saints covered. That was great. The Falcons won outright, and we'll see what the Bengals and the Broncos do tonight to see if it's a full sweep. But I'm chasing the Panthers here. They're going back to home. We saw last time the Panthers played at home, they beat a team by 30 points. They shut them out.
That's true. And you know what? I did bet the Falcons on the money line, and I had the Falcons when it was still plus money before it inverted to minus by the time we got to Sunday because of the Jaden Daniels stuff. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
This is a prime bounce back spot for Carolina. And although it is a close your eyes special, I'm not afraid of it, because the Panthers team plays way different when they play at home than on the road. And they're playing the Dolphins, who might be 0-4 by the time that, we talk about this game heading into week 5. So I like the Panthers.
Yeah, I just want to see, with the Dolphins every week, whenever they're on Monday night, I just want to see, does Tua come out healthy? Like, I'm just not.
Just another reason to bet on the Panthers right now.
Maybe. I guess I'm always holding my breath. All right, we're also holding our breath for the Denver Broncos. Right now, the early line on them is plus 5.5 in Philadelphia into the Lions' den there, minus 4.5. On the Eagles, you're getting 43.5 on the over, 44.5 on the under, plus 215 for the Broncos on the money line. So, Andrew, let's talk about this. The Eagles continue to find ways to win football games. They do it on special teams. They come up with big offensive plays and big defensive plays. This is what winners do, right? And the Eagles keep on winning games. So is this another victory for the Eagles? And can they cover the 4.5 against the Broncos?
I think I like the Eagles here as well, playing against Denver at home. Denver coming off a short week playing on Monday Night Football. And I really lean towards the under here. We just haven't seen this Eagles offense look super explosive. We didn't see them. Their passing game basically has like one half of where they're like operating at like an acceptable level, and then the other half of the game where they just basically don't do anything in the passing game. And we know Bo Nix, it's a roller coaster with him, where he's up and down. He's either missing throws or hitting everybody for wide open touchdowns. So considering he's facing the Bengals this week, that's probably where we're going to see the better Bo Nix. And then it's probably going to come back down to earth when he goes on the road in Philly on a short week, and you're going to see the bad Bo Nix. So I probably like the under here, and I like the Eagles.
Fair enough. Don't forget, everybody, download the BettingPros app, sync your sportsbooks for free on iOS, on Android. Use all the tools. You can monitor your bet performance by type, including game picks, props, parlays. Again, it's all for free. You can even create custom betting systems to find the winning trends and profit from those opportunities. And on top of that, you got the prop bet cheat sheet, all the amazing tools that are inside the BettingPros app. So don't be a tool. Use the tools at BettingPros. Go to bettingpros.com/apps. And when you do, use the promo code JUICE to activate your free 7-day trial of the premium tools over at BettingPros. That's how you bet smarter and not harder. Next up, the New York Football Giants. They'll be without Malik Nabers for the rest of the year, but they might have had their franchise quarterback unlocked this week, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo and company, and that defense led them to a victory over the undefeated Chargers. First time in 17 years, Andrew, that an 0-3 team beat a 3-0 team. How about them apples? Then you got the New Orleans Saints on the other side, who almost pulled off quite an upset on their own. Man, oh man, that was a close one. Getting real salty there in Buffalo for a little while. So New Orleans is at home plus 2.5 point underdogs. The Giants 1.5 point favorites. There you go, everybody. Over 41.5, the under 42.5, minus 125 for the Giants on the money line, plus 115 for the Saints. This is tricky. First road start for Jackson Dart. So a lot of unknowns here potentially. And the Saints did show some life there on the road against a very tough Buffalo Bills opponent. So do you think people are going to fall into a trap here with Jackson Dart and be too much on the Giants and not pay attention to what the Saints actually almost pulled off in Buffalo?
I think so. I think that now that you have a full game of Jackson Dart in the NFL, I think that can help the Saints a little bit more than obviously the Chargers kind of going in blind, where the offense was totally different, right? They're running RPOs. They're doing not the same things they were doing with Russell Wilson. So I think that's an advantage in the Saints' prospects of winning this potential matchup. They're also playing at home. You now have Jackson Dart playing on the road for the first time, like you said. And the Saints are a plucky bunch. Like, they're not afraid to just drop back and throw with Spencer Rattler 40, 45 times a game. And it's so funny because, both these franchises have been circling this game. It's like, okay, this is the game that we can win this year. Like, this is the game so we don't just lose every single game. Giants already got their W. So in terms of who needs it more, I mean, Kellen Moore still hasn't won a game as a Saints head coach. Like, he needs to win a game. This is a winnable game. So I like the Saints on the money line just based on the value here.
I kind of agree. I think a lot of money. I think this is going to change. I think the New York media is going to really pump up quite a bit the Jackson Dart, New York.
And then you don't have that. They're missing their best player. Malik Neighbors not going to play.
That's the thing. The Malik Neighbors issue. That's where I'm looking at. And I think that for me, I think you're going to see this line grow. I think now this might be one of the better early lines of the week, to be honest with you, where you could just take New Orleans straight up plus 115, on the money line. Or if you want to wait, and you think there's more hype coming for New York, maybe that plus 115 turns into a plus 125. I don't know. It's hard to tell. If Neighbors were healthy, it'd be a different story. But then again, we might feel differently about the game too. Dallas Cowboys, they can't stop anybody on defense. Let's talk about them facing the New York Jets. We'll see what the Jets do, and Justin Fields returning tonight on Monday Night Football. But in the meantime, you get Dallas minus 1.5, the Jets plus 1.5, 45.5 of the over, 46.5 of the under, minus 125 on the money line for the Dallas Cowboys, plus 110 for the New York Jets. So again, this one to me, I kind of want to see where the Jets are. Right now, my early lean is certainly on the Dallas side, just because I think Dak Prescott's playing really good football. And I think they can just flat out put more points on the board. And they're going to have to, the way that defense plays. They make every offense look like murderer's row over there. But what are your thoughts on this one between Dallas and the Jets?
Yeah, I like Dallas money line. Minus 125 is the best odds I'm seeing. I don't want to deal with minus 1.5, whatever field goals. Because we just saw a tie, okay? So
we did.
I'm not.
We did. Well, some of us fell asleep because it was late. By the time
I mean, if you told me, hey, Sunday Night Football, it's going to be 80 points scored, it's going to be overtime, you're thinking, oh man, this game is going to be so sick to watch. And then you watch it. Obviously, the game was a ton of fun, but then the end is just, all the players, when they're going to shake each other's hands, you look at their faces, they're how do I react to this exactly?
I don't know. It's like a scrimmage almost. You feel like that's what it feels like. I think the over's in play too, because the Dallas defense is just dreadful. So 45.5. I mean, thinking about 40 last night, just by themselves. I think the over
very much agree on the over there. But so I also side with the Dallas side here.
I think the over plus the Dallas money line is probably the way to go on this one. All right, let's go Tennessee, Arizona here. Arizona Cardinals 3-2. The Tennessee Titans still winless. Cam Ward is throwing shade, and maybe rightfully so. Right now, plus 9 on the Tennessee side of this game, minus 8.5. Look, I know Tennessee's bad. I just don't know my confidence level in the Cardinals. 41.5 for the under, 40.5 for the over, plus 400 for the upside for the Tennessee Titans. So, Andrew, what's your take on this one?
I'm never going to bet on the Titans as long as Callahan is the head coach. not happening. So, give me the Cardinals.
All right, Cardinals 8.5. You think that number is safe?
At home with extra time to prepare? Yeah, sure. Fair. I mean, the Titans have just shown me nothing. Where they just got shut out against the Texans. I think can the Cardinals score? Can the Cardinals win 10-0? Yeah.
All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 3-1. So are the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to match up in Seattle in Week 5. Minus 2.5 for the Seahawks. Plus 3 for Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, which means lock it up. Baker Mayfield on the road. Just lock it in right now. Upset for Baker Mayfield, underdog on the road. Always bet on it. I don't care if Mike Evans is hurt. I don't care. I just don't care. 44.5 is the total. 45.5 is the under. Plus 125 on the money line. Yes, please. Just give me the Bucs money line plus 125. That's what I want, Andrew. That's it. Baker Mayfield. Look, Seattle's defense is good. Seattle's getting it done. They've got some talent. They're figuring some things out. It's not always pretty, but a good defensive team. They fight. They have extra time to prepare. Doesn't matter. Baker Mayfield underdog on the road. I'm just taking it.
Yep. Every time we talk about it, every time we do an early look ahead show. When is Baker Mayfield underdog? Is he on the road? Then yes, bet the Buccaneers on the money line plus 125, especially against Sam Darnold. Really? Like, this is the team that he has to go up against? I get, it's on the road, Seattle, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. Like, he's got enough weapons here. Chris Godwin, another week back from his injury. Bucky Irving just looks like an absolute monster. out there
Yeah.
every time they give him the ball. He's a full-blown workhorse.
Big touchdown catch for him yesterday, too. Huge
They're
moment.
feeding him so much. Egbuka is already, getting ready for his Hall of Fame inductee ceremony. I can't wait for that. So, yes, give me Tampa Bay.
And everyone's like, why are they drafting another wide receiver? Because he's good at football. Because good teams just take the best player on the board in the first round, and they figure it out later. And that's what the Bucs have been doing for a while. Bucs are a good organization. They haven't had a lot of turnover, man. Brady came in there, and they kind of figured out their identity, and they've just continued to thrive. All right, the Detroit Lions 3-1, the Cincinnati Bengals as of now 2-1. We'll see what happens on Monday night. They are 8.5-point underdogs in this contest. Again, Detroit the favorite on the road. It is a lot of points. But look, last time we saw Detroit on the road, they were crushing that Ravens defense, which is no bueno. 48.5 for the over, 49.5 for the under, plus 350 for the Bengals on the money line for the upset. So, Andrew, do you see any value here with this line?
I don't think there's any value because I'm not exactly. I think that if you like the Bengals side, I think that you're probably going to get numbers favorable for you after they play the Denver Broncos. Because I want to point out that this will be the first game at home for Jake Browning. So I think that that's important to note where you're looking at, okay, he's been playing on the road the last couple starts. I think that he'd probably be better off playing at home. So I actually might like the Broncos, I like the Bengals. If this line moves to like plus 10, I'm always going to take a double-digit dog at home, even against the Detroit Lions. So that's the line that I'm kind of waiting for.
All right, now this is an interesting one here because the Chargers took their first loss. Now they're going back home against a Commanders team. Again, we're still waiting for Jaden Daniels news. They're 3-point favorites, so this is just Vegas saying this is your standard stuff. You're getting plus 3.5 for the Washington Commanders. 47.5 is the over, 49.5 the under, plus 140 for the upset here for the Commanders. But with the Chargers right now, look, they already had Rashawn Slater out for the year, and now Joe Alt is going to miss some time with a high ankle sprain. So that offensive line has some issues right now. Can they overcome it? I think they can. I think I would just pay the juice on the money line for the Chargers, though, and not muck around with this one. And pair it with something else, an anytime touchdown, a prop that I like here from somebody here. But it is a little tenuous. I think the Chargers win this football game 3. I'm not confident in the Commanders, but I'm really concerned about the offensive line for the Chargers. So my take is Chargers money line, your favorite prop, and move along. What do you think?
I think mine is just bet the under. 49.5 points for all the things that you just listed out of, okay, the Chargers are dealing with a bunch of offensive line injuries. Chargers games haven't been shootouts this year. A lot of it's been because their defense has played really well, and we still don't know if the Commanders are going to get their starting quarterback. So why would this is the highest total on the week that we've talked about. 49.5 points, Commanders and Chargers. This seems like an easy under for me, and hopefully that the injuries kind of work in your favor, that they're missing offensive pieces. So I like the under here.
Okay. Next up, Sunday Night Football. You've got the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. So right now here, plus 9 on the side of the New England Patriots, minus 8 for Buffalo at home, 50.5 the under, 49.5 the over, plus 375 for the Patriots to pull off the upset. Look, Buffalo's been kicking the crap out of the New England Patriots for the last few years. So I don't know if that changes necessarily on Sunday night. My guess is no. Andrew, what do you think?
Well, when the last time the Patriots went up to Buffalo, they looked like the better team in the first half. Again, that was under a worse coaching staff, and they ended up blowing it in the second half. But the Patriots didn't look outmatched the last time they went to Buffalo. So coming off a big win against Carolina, I think they have a chance to build some momentum here. And Buffalo sometimes doesn't always take care of business against inferior teams. They let teams kind of hang around sometimes, like we saw with the Saints. Again, that line was out of control. Yeah, but
was that the wake-up call? Like, I feel like that's the only thing. Like, I feel like that's.
But do you think the Patriots are better than the Saints? I do.
I do, but also that in-division game, you get up to play and you know each other better, and I think that's always a part of that thing too. It just feels like Josh Allen just takes over these games against the Patriots, and all the individual Josh Allen props.
Well, okay, I like the Patriots, but my favorite bet's always going to be on the over, or for the Bills to score 30 points, because they score 30 points basically every single week, especially when they're at home.
Approach. I think the Bills team total, except when they don't score 31.5, they screw me.
Well, that's why you got to do over 30 or just 30. They're over 29.5, 30 points.
No, but the number was 31.5.
Pay the juice.
Monday Night Football, Kansas City versus Jacksonville. 2-2 are the Chiefs now. 3-1, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're at home. They're plus 3 underdogs, minus 2.5 on the Chiefs right now. over 44.5, under 45.5, getting minus 154 for the Chiefs on the money line, plus 140 for the Jags. Look, Worthy came back. The offense looked more dynamic. I feel like Mahomes is kind of righting the ship here. Now they've got 2 wins in a row, back-to-back weeks. The Chiefs should go in there and kick the crap out of the Jaguars. I will take the Chiefs with the 2.5. Your thoughts?
I like the Chiefs as well, especially at minus 2.5. I also like the under in this game. I think that the Jaguars defense has played pretty well this season. You know, they're a unit that we haven't really talked about. A lot of it has been because of turnovers. They've been generating a lot of turnovers, which has helped them a lot defensively. And we know the Chiefs have a solid defense when their guys are up front, when their guys are healthy. So Trevor Lawrence has really been up and down all year long. I like the under on this game at 45.5, and I do like the Chiefs as well. Getting Xavier Worthy back. I think this is exactly what they envisioned what was going to happen throughout the season, and it just got delayed because Worthy got hurt on the 3rd play in the first game of the season, and that's what kind of threw the whole Chiefs offense in disarray. They get him back, and they're going to get Rashee Rice back too. So also maybe a time to buy in on some of these Chiefs futures when Rashee Rice gets back in the lineup. All the receivers are healthy. Feel good about the Chiefs in this AFC.
All right, everybody. So don't forget, download the BettingPros app, download the Hard Rock Bet app, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right here at BettingPros. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Andrew Erickson, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy week 5.